Hello YouTube, I Fix It All here, Team I Fix It All. I ran across some super split wood splitter videos over the past couple of days, and they've been around. I've had my splitter since '08, at least. I couldn't remember exactly what timeline I had bought mine, but they replied to my email, and Paul or his son, I forget which one, they emailed back and said, you got yours in summer of '08. There's a fellow who's had, up in Massachusetts, he did a factory tour at SUPERSPLIT, him and his family. Great looking family, great guy. God, he splits a bodacious amount of firewood. One of his videos, I swear it looks like he has a border wall up around this entire area down in the woods. But he was talking about how do you handle forked wood, and that's what I'm trying to illustrate here in my artist rendering. Is a piece of wood. In my wood pile right now, I don't have a single piece of wood that is like in this state. And it's actually because that was a sign of experience in working with the wood wizard. God, that was my old sawmill out of Sheep Ranch, California. Working with the SUPERSPLIT. I know that if I come across this kind of wood, do not aim your wedge up on the I-beam of the SUPERSPLIT. Don't put the fork into the wedge. A couple things happen inside these forks when it comes to the grain. And I'll tell you what, this area right here is going to be like, if you get a broken bone and your body's able to go in and repair a bone, and the calcium deposits come in and they repair the bone break and all that, it's highly unlikely you'll ever break that bone in that spot again, because it is come in and bandaged it. Well, that's the same for a branch. The grain structure, let me see if I can complement this a little bit here. Yeah, that's what I want to do. I'm going to show that it kind of... So there's two ring systems going on right here where you lobbed it off. Let's say this was a limb and it forked. This area is going to have circular rings. This will have its own circular rings, but these circular rings get sewn into each other in a it would be like a figure 8, but not straight across. It's going to be a bent figure 8. Think of it as a drooping bow tie. And the grain structure right here is so tight. I have paid, I tried this. I tried this several times when I was first getting used to the SUPERSPLIT. The problem with the SUPERSPLIT is, if you're like me, unlike the fella I'm speaking about up in Mass, where it looks like he probably has split more wood than I have ever split in my whole life. He's probably split more wood in the past 6 years than I have since I moved here to West Virginia and bought this house in '96. So the problem with the SUPERSPLIT, which is a great problem to have, is you end up being able to put up your firewood for the whole winter. Where I'm at in the mountains in southern West Virginia, I can put up all my firewood in a weekend, just piddling around. If I was really humping, I could get up at the crack of dawn and be done by dusk, and it's all gone. So I don't have the same amount of physical experience working with the Super Split. Although I've had this thing for years, I break it out for hardcore work, just a few days out of the whole year, maybe 3 or 4 days. He's in Mass. So he's got the temperature, the different climate. He's going to be splitting more firewood. Plus, I saw him splitting maple, which, oh man, I feel sorry for anybody burning maple in the winter because that shit just does not get hot. But if that's what you got, it's what you got. Don't aim your wedge for the craw of a fork. When you do, you'll hear your Super Split engine, number one, bog down, but it continues to run. So what's happening is your rack and pinion pushes the arm out, and then it hits this craw. The rack and pinion gets stuck up in this craw, and your bell clutch on the engine itself is doing nothing but slipping and slipping and slipping. It's like on the side of the engine, there's the centrifugal clutch. It's slipping because the motor has enough energy in it to let it keep slipping. Second thing is, you risk on the bottom of your rack, you've got your wheels, and then you've got your pinion gear, and then you have your rack, and there's mating teeth. Something's liable to break there if you keep doing this. What you want to do is lay this piece of wood up on your table and aim your wedge for aim your wedge for here, or over here. In other words, don't do this. Aim that wood as though your wedge is right here. So you shave off this, you shave off this, you maybe get another sliver off of this side and another sliver off of this side, and then you end up with a small forked piece of wood that you get to keep. And maybe then it might split in the craw. But don't do this on your initial impact. Shave the forks off first. Okay? Shave them down first. I had to make that comment because anybody who's going to be new to Super Split, knowing how to read your lumber when you throw it up there on the table, read it with your eyes in advance, because some of this wood can be twisted as well. And so you end up having to interrupt the stroke of the rack, meaning the grain is going to be spiraled in advance because you picked up the piece of wood, you eyeballed it, the tendency of the type of wood you're trying to split, and this particular piece you put up there has a high likelihood that it's integrated in a section of the tree that is very conducive to having twisted grain. You find this feature a lot in your white oak or red oak, and honestly, sometimes it's down low at the butt, because sometimes the root system is real twisty. That's where a lot of your good pistol handles and rifle wooden pieces parts, the best wood is down in the root area, because the grain is just not linear. It's all twisted. It's harder wood. Knowing when to interrupt early, because in this situation, what I would do is if I did this again, this is what I learned that works the best on a forked piece of wood. Let the rack come out and push that into the wedge, but as soon as my eyes see contact, I'm hitting that arm. I'm hitting the lever, the handle, the engagement handle. I'm hitting it, because what I'm doing is I'm trying to let the rack come in and push this in here to crack it, but I don't want that rack to continue trying to force it through because I don't want to break or damage anything on my SUPERSPLIT. So knowing how to interrupt early. And there's no sense in hanging on to that handle the whole time. I see so many people doing that. If you you can lift up on the handle, and if it's functioning right, it'll push the wood through. You need to be able to know that you can reach your hand over and slam that handle down to interrupt early in case you see or hear a problem. I just thought I'd have to point this out about forked wood. Don't target the craw as first. Shave off of this side. It'll prolong the lifespan of your rack and pinion and reduce risk of breaking the rack. Hang tight. I'm going to split a couple of more things. Hello, Bookie. That's my garage cat. So yesterday I was let me think of this here. What I like to do when I randomly am just like looking at wood splitting videos and I see a guy with a SUPERSPLIT, because holy crap, what a machine. I like to see what they have to deal with, you know. I'm the guy that's like, oh, it's a bunch of easy wood. Look at this. You can't screw that up. Only thing I'm gaining with this stuff is it splits it fast. This is nothing to split if you did it manually, except for the pine. It's wet. It's green. I mean, whew, I'll tell you what. That's some difficult stuff to really get swinging on. And there's my two tools I use, besides a sledgehammer over here somewhere to help it along, but these things are getting beat up. All this is cakewalk wood. A lot of people. I'm one of those guys that says, show us something difficult. Well, this is called cookies. It's free from my local sawmill by the pickup load. But I had a 15-yard dump go pick it up, so it was $20 for buying it, because if you come with a dump truck, then they charge you $20. So I paid a plug for Seibold Excavating here in southern West Virginia, Seibold. But yeah, they went and paid for it, hauled it, and dumped it. I gave them $200. But it's interesting to see what people have to deal with. I mean, that's my hand. That's a piece. I gotta cut that up. I got a little bit to deal with. I mean, I don't know what they were cutting away on that thing, and they found out it had a rotted center, so they quit cutting boards off of it. Looks like some sort of obelisk or whatever. They call them cookies because what they do is some of these logs, this is all white oak. They make barrels up there for liquor manufacturing, whiskey manufacturing. And the log that they put up on the mill, white oak has a tendency to, be a decent log. Like that's red oak. And I've got a white oak. Oh yeah, here you go. Here's a perfect example. There's your big white oak right there. But white oak has a tendency to skirt out at the base. Okay? So that might be like 2.5 foot, about a 2 foot diameter log. There's my hand. Roughly thereabouts. It has a tendency to flare out at the bottom. And the loggers will probably cut about in here, but if you notice, that's still quite a bit of a flare before they can get to the chunk of a log that's really manageable on a band or circle saw mill, meaning they got to get rid of if it's too flared out on the butt log. That's the butt. The first log would be the butt log. there's a little bit too much flare on it, they'll just chop off part of it, and it helps get the overall average linear straightness, that plane, to agree with how it's laying on the mill as it's going down and getting cut up. So there's a white oak. It's a pretty damn good sized one. It's mature too. It could be harvested, but it's in my yard. But it's always fun to see what people have to deal with. So yesterday I was failing on one of my cookies. I'm gonna get another cookie up there, and maybe you'll see me emergency like interrupt because I don't like how the thing is splitting. I'm gonna wrestle a piece up here. Let's see what happens. I'll move my 7-Up out of the way. Let's make sure I'm not zoomed in like I always make a mistake at. Yeah, I'm not zoomed in. Good. Here we go. God dang it. It's already a 16-minute video. That's why I was talking so fast. Get me a 2x6 for a ramp so I can get it up here. Okay, it's okay. I don't think I need these earbuds on either. Using my phone to listen to InfoWars. Alright. Now I don't like the way that's laying. I've got holes in there. Alright. Lay this piece up here. I might be able to pick this piece up. This one might be light enough. I don't know. Yeah, I think I can manage this one. Oh, yeah, too easy. Alright. Fire this fucker up and we'll see what happens. I'm checking out to see if I got any twists or anything I gotta look for, but I don't think anybody on YouTube is splitting any wood like this. It's just kind of goofy to handle. So if you notice, I was popping that handle because I was eyeballing when I thought the motor may bog, or I might put my rack or pinion in jeopardy. This thing needs a little bit of a sharpening. Usually I keep a damn file out here. Oh well. Oh, there it is. Usually, yeah, that's pretty damn, that's kind of dull. That's helpful. That's good enough. Alright, let me get this video up. That was kind of fun to see the trials and tribulations iFixItAll is going to go through. Again, a lot of this stuff is manageable. It's small. There's a small piece. There's lots of small pieces in here. So the vast majority of it's going to split, but easy. I don't know what's in there. But these suck. The video I did yesterday where it fell off the splitter because of the force of the damn rack coming out. I could count the rings on this thing. Some of this would make good table stuff too, you know. I've already made some cutting boards, a couple of them. But the donor wood for the cutting boards was this batch of lumber, because I cut a cookie off and then I dried it inside the house, meaning I just let it set for several weeks. So, alright guys, that's a 25-minute video. No one will ever watch this. Hey, take it easy guys. Be safe, and catch you later.